Right, hi all, yep, so it's May 2021. I had a problem with my Delorean, so it's the driver's door lights all stopped working. So the car was working absolutely perfect, and then suddenly I opened the door yesterday and just noticed yesterday that the lights weren't on. So I've got LED bulbs in it. So I had LED bulbs in yesterday, so I popped the bulbs out. You know, because you never can tell with LEDs, because once one packs up, it normally packs up the whole sort of circuit. So I replaced them with normal bulbs. I checked on a spare one of these to check the battery, make sure it was all working, just so I knew. So that was all fine. So listen to that. Then I also thought, okay, I'll check out the wiring circuits. With thanks to people on the forum, much appreciated, and also to me looking into it as well. There's these two switches here. So one of the switches has a black wire on it, which goes to earth, and another wire which is like purple and blue, I think it was. Apologies, that's the wrong colour. I think it's purple and blue. You'll see it in the pictures in a minute. That's the one there which operates, in my instance, it's the top one, and that operates the door LEDs for the left-hand side, plus the interior light as well. So you press the button in there, it turns off. The other one activates the buzzer. So my buzzer is not wired in, so for me it does nothing at all. So just to be clear, that's the situation. If you find, and actually, so that's that. So just double check all the wire, make sure it's all in good condition behind there. Take it off, make sure it's clean. That's fine. Next up is these. So you've got 3 resistors there, which are normally cable tied in. Obviously, I'll cable tie mine back later. Have a look at those. Now, if your interior light packs up, and check all the wiring, etc., then it's normally something to do with the resistors here, because they power off the same circuit, say, as the door light does. But the door light should still work if the resistors pack up. So what I did is I just made sure I took them all off one by one, obviously, and I basically give it a good yank where those white connectors are, to make sure all the wires they look like they're in, make sure they're definitely in, they're crimped and they're solid. So mine were, so that was fine. Next up, I just also I've popped out all of these, but I popped them out just to make sure that they're all connected up, and then it's all solid and clean and all that sort of stuff. Checked it out with a voltmeter, so I connected up the voltmeter to the steering column, and then probed each connector, and obviously one of the 2 connectors has power, so each of them had 12 volts on it. I then checked the earth, and there was no earth. So what I did is I connect up my voltmeter, earthing just here, so as I know that earths to the battery I've checked, or you can connect it to the steering column crush bracket. But I connected mine just underneath there. Double check the earth there, and there was no earth. There's a tiny bit of resistance, but that was it. So I kind of think, okay, issue's my earth, it's not getting around the full circuit. So looked on the forums, and say people assisted and advised and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, man, and one of the guys, thanks Alistair for this is cool. He said double check the connectors in the roof box. So here they are. So obviously I pulled them out. I pulled them all out to have a look, and basically I was able to find, the pink and blue, and the the purple and blue, and the purple and blue and purple and pink wires on here. So I was able to find them. There's 3 or 4 in there basically, and I was able to double check them and make sure they had voltage each side and all that sort of stuff. And then I found the purple and blue one here, and found out that there's no voltage. It didn't earth, but this side here was connected to this side. Gave the wires a little bit of a pull here, just make sure there's nothing absolutely obvious, and it was all fine. Took the connector off, had a little look, but otherwise the connector itself was fine. So I was happy with that. So that can go back together in a minute, and I can re-tack that back on. To get the T-panel off, I've got a video on YouTube, but it's really easy. All you do is you just remove the 3, well for mine, you remove the 3 screws here, then you sort of like lift the panel around like that, the little panel that's down there, and then you have to pull back the bit of rubber here, and there's 2 or 3 screws on each side. Undo those, and then really then the T-panel just pulls backwards and lifts out. Maybe close one of the doors, otherwise it might rub, but literally you can get it out unless it's glued in like 5 minutes. It's a piece of piss. Okay, so that then led me to then look around here. Now I noticed this yesterday, but I didn't notice the main fault. So I cut this back here yesterday to have a look in here, and I noticed, okay, someone's bodged some wires together, as you can see. They just wrapped those wires around. So I thought, okay, cool, I'll look into those. I'll solder those. hence the soldering lines out here. But then when I got closely to it, because now I know where the wires go to obviously get round to the lights, which is obviously through this piece here. I look closely, and I don't know if you can see on there, but there's the purple wire there, and you can see it's split. Let me just quickly hook that out quickly. There, okay. So you can see it's a purple and blue wire, and it's just clean split. There, it's just broken in half, and that's it. So I was able to use these long nose pliers here, touch it back on, boom, the lights came on. So that's the result. But I say all this helped because I was able to unplug the connector and push the wires back in, so I get a bit more slack, because those wires are normally quite tight up there. So by sort of adjusting that connector, that gave me room, which is what I wanted to do, to be able to solder these. So I'm going to take them off, put heat shrink on and all this sort of stuff. And that's when I noticed the break. Yep, so that's the issue. Touched it on, job done. So all I would say then is, if your left driver's side lights stop working, then I say check bulbs, check LEDs, particularly LEDs, because of course, you know, if one goes on an LED, it can often chuck out the all three lights on it. So double check that. Otherwise, before you go into the roof box, definitely check that section there. You might have to like cut the rubber open like I did with mine, but I've got some fabric loom tape. So what I'm gonna do is, once I've repaired those in a minute of solder, I'm going to probably leave the rubber cover there potentially, or just go and then go around with the fabric tape, or remove part of the rubber cover and then go straight for fabric tape by itself. I'll see how much room there is and all that, and that's it. And there's your T panel there. So I have to get it out really carefully, it's very valuable. So I'm going to clean this up, get all that old glue off it, and then once it's all back together again, that's super easy. I can then just glue on the rubber trims again, and put some tape around to hold them. And there we are. So mega result. I know it's a bit of a pain to solder and all that sort of stuff in that particular section, but you know what, I found the issue, so I'm really happy. Cool, nice one, cheers. Oh yeah, part 2, so it's done. So you can see now I've got all my lights on. What I did, as I said, you know, is I soldered up the one that had broken, plus also resoldered the other two as well that someone had joined together, heat shrink them, and then I put one cable tie around the remaining plastic piece, in the original piece, and then wrapped it in this fabric, electrical wire fabric tape, which is really, really good. This looks like neat, I would say. I haven't gone all the way down on the tape, just around the top section there, because I know it's going to close and rub and all this sort of stuff. So I don't think you want too much stuff in there. So that's good. So I'm going to pop the connectors back in now, make sure everything still works, and then I'm going to clean up the old bond off there and rebond the piece of metal on. And then tonight I will put the T-panel back in, and then just hoover it, and then I think that's it. So yeah, excellent stuff. I like it. Now I can chill, you know. Okay, cheers.